Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video of Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Tristana supplementary guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at SHIELDBOW on Tristana. So this is really just a very minor modification of swapping out Bloodthirster for SHIELDBOW, and I do feel that Tristana is one of those champions that makes use of SHIELDBOW very well, considering her very aggressive playstyle and her propensity to jump in onto enemies. So let's take a look at the build, right? Really not much has changed. Glenda's Greaves, AD and Omnivamp, SHIELDBOW, pretty decent stats, but of course you mainly get it for the shield, which is really good in the early to mid game, but does fall off a little bit in the late game. Right, then you have Navori Quick Blades, get a lower cooldown on all of your abilities. This is really good for Tristana's entire kit. Her jump, her auto attacks with Q as well as the E, all of it just really good. Core item on Tristana all the time. Blaster allows you to stack up your bomb more quickly onto enemies, just really good Tristana item. And then of course you have more reminder for armor pen and grievous wounds. Last item defensive can be more GA items of the sort, right? Runes, standard ADC loadout, spells, flash, cleanse if they're CC. Otherwise exhaust is amazing for those 1v1s. Barrier is pretty decent as well. And with all that said, let's now talk about the gameplay. Okay, so now taking a look at the gameplay. Of course, first item of discussion simply is Bloodthirster versus SHIELDBOW, a very classic discussion, right? So basically, I think that Bloodthirster in general gives you a lot higher AD, a lot more consistent physical vamp compared to SHIELDBOW. But with SHIELDBOW, you get those huge shields in fights, and that can be a huge difference in fights. Speaking of fights, face check at level 1 from the enemy team. We got a full stack bomb onto Kalista. I think I should have actually flashed forward there to get the last auto. I flash forward now to get the last autos in. I get the kill eventually, but I'm really low, right? I should have just committed flash early on to just get that last auto to pop the bomb and do the extra damage. That probably would have killed her, and then I would have been a lot safer, right? And I end up basically using flash and cleanse, and basically spending all my summoner spells anyway, and it was a very risky. It ended up becoming a very risky player because we had to flash into the enemy minions when we really could have just flashed earlier and not put ourselves at such high risk. So yeah, SHIELDBOW in these kind of all-in fights is really huge because the shield in the early and mid game is a lot. And of course when you prompt the SHIELDBOW, you also get physical vamp, which also matters quite a bit, right? So as a result, SHIELDBOW is pretty good in the early and mid game, really good for you to snowball, but of course in the late game, Bloodthirster is generally going to be better. So sometimes if I reach full build, I might even sell SHIELDBOW for Bloodthirster after I complete my entire build. Now here Mundo is in. Unfortunately, I cannot put the bomb on Kalista with the Braum passive, not passive, Braum shield up, but it doesn't really matter. We're able to first kill Braum and then continue on to Kalista, and my team picks up both of the kills as I get the 2 assists. However, this does give us access to the enemy tower and does of course allow us to get tower plays. Right now, then if you're wondering why I was not attacking the bomb, I was trying to wait for the minions to walk in so that the bomb would clear the minions as well, but waited a little bit too long, and the bomb ended up not even doing all that much damage. Now here I tried to force the second tower plate, but unfortunately we're not able to get it. Now I'm just going to defensively jump away, and Mundo is still in the area, so he's dissuading the enemy team from coming any further, where otherwise I think that it is possible Kalista and Braum might just go for a full-on rundown, seeing as I'm like half HP and Leona is running low on mana. So a horrible start for Kalista. Kalista is definitely a champion that wants to snowball and wants to get a hit. However, she's just taken 2 deaths, and if you don't snowball with Kalista, she's not a very useful champion. Now, I have had games where I fall behind on Kalista, but I still end up having a pretty good game. But it's not very common, right? So here we once again have to attack Braum because of the shield. We are taking a ton of damage though. I have to jump away, and I nearly died. That spear from Kalista nearly picks up the kill, but she is just too far behind to complete the kill. And now we are going to back. And unfortunately, Leona gets caught here. However, she ends up solo killing the Kalista. I know yeah, it is a solo kill, but it's also a 1v2 kill. So thumbs up for that. This Leona is kind of insane. This is a random solo queue Leona, by the way. This is not a pre-made Leona. So the synergy between me and Leona kind of insane here. Talent in the area I can see from the Skullcrab vision, so we're going to place down more vision just to see if he's coming. He probably has to hop that wall or walk around that wall if he wants to gank us, so I think that position is pretty good unless we're diving the tower, in which case he can just come from the Tribush side. Here, I think Kalista was not paying attention. Once again, the Braum blocks the bomb. However, this time we stand behind him and we're able to just kill the Kalista with our auto attacks. Now here, she tanks as I'm going for Braum, and then I use the ult to finish him off quickly so that we can then come over here and then go for the tower and, you know, pick up their fruit, things like that. Complete the kill onto the Braum as well. And yeah, I was gonna say I was surprised Talon didn't show up just now because we already knew he was in the area, so I'm surprised that when we conducted that dive, he didn't come. Really lovely tanking from this Leona. I love this. I love it when you encounter a good solo queue support, right? Those can be the differences. Like that time when I played Kalista, having that Alistar support was really insane as well. This Leona support is from another world. And yeah, Mundo also is kind of camping us. Now Morgana is behind them, Mundo is here as well. We're attempting like a 4v3 dive. We don't have a wave. Leona is not going in, Kalista dies, Braum dies, and now we have Annie stuck under tower together with Talon. Me and Leona are pretty low though. Talon gets rooted here. Now I was thinking that I have ulti almost coming up. Might be able to finish off Talon. However, I should have waited for my ulti if I wanted to make this flash play. I thought that if I could flash forward, auto, I could kill him, but the issue is that I only got off one auto instead of two, so he does end up surviving because I can't get in range to get off that second auto, which is a little bit unfortunate. However, off of this huge early game lead, we're able to complete our shield bow. About 5 minutes into the game when objectives spawn. So here we have shield bow for an objective fight if there is one. Looks like there might be. Talon is coming in to contest the dragon. We're gonna blast plant over to Talon, and I don't know if it's advisable to stand right next to a Talon, but at this point we have shield bow. I don't think we're gonna be dying very easily. I'm trying to blast the Talon. Somehow Talon survives on 1 HP. A little bit of a damage miscalculation on my part. I thought that that would be enough damage to kill him. Flash brought from Leona onto the Braum. She knows Braum is dead, so she's focusing on the next target. Unfortunately, I think Leona W gets the kill there. We try to go on to Annie, but Annie gets to the safety of the tower. Leona engages on the Kalista. Now my shield bow there saves me from the Talon, and I'm able to live with 1 HP here only because of the shield bow. So you can kind of see how shield bow can come in very, very handy. Now you will also notice that Leona unfortunately has been picking up majority of the kills, right? Because she has more kills than me, and as a result, I'm not getting as much gold as I could have. But you know what, it's fine, right? Because Leona has gotten us a lot of the kills as well. And honestly, some of the kills that she got was not intentional, like that last one with the W, which happens quite often on Leona. Here, she chases onto Kalista again. Kalista tries to flash away, but she's not going anywhere. And unfortunately for her, because she got a kill and assist already, that resets her bounty and she's now worth 300 gold again. It's really just not fair at this point. We're 2k gold ahead of the Kalista, and we're able to just smash her, and she has no chance at all. She doesn't even have a single item, whereas we have 1.5 already. My team secures the Herald, and the snowball is just starting to accumulate more snow, right? Like my team now has a 5k gold lead. Now my entire team comes mid to push mid apparently, because I mean it does make sense because we've already gone the tower from every other lane, right? The tier 1 tower from every other lane. Now Annie is hitting the bot lane tier 1 though, and she can see all of us on vision, so she really has no reason to stop. However, her team is getting dive under tier 2 tower. Talon, is he really going to come and try to defend 1v4? We take down the tier 2 tower, and at this point we're kind of indirectly forcing Annie to back because we're on their inhib at this point, and Talon is ulting in, trying to assassinate Morgana, almost gets the assassination on Morgana. Annie ults without having full charge, so she doesn't actually stun me, so I'm actually just fine. I did have cleanse though, just in case. Didn't actually need to use it. Leona also has the heart steal into Gargoyle, so she's really, really tanky with all that extra health. Now we're gonna go for this skull crab on the way back down to bot lane, and go down to bot lane, clear out these waves, get the gold, push back out, and then maybe get a reset for Navori, or if not, we could rotate to mid or whatnot, right? So here we're going to just get the reset. Probably have enough for Navori by now. There we go, Navori completed. I'm gonna go get that red buff as well, taking the Hex Gate. Talon is now pushing in to the bot lane. And honestly, we have Shield Bow up, so we're not overly afraid of the Talon. In fact, I think we can kill him. So unfortunately I misclicked my ult there. Like I was trying to hit the E, right, but I pressed alt by accident. So that was a little bit of a fumble. I mean, we fumbled killing Talon like 3 times this game. That was once, and the other time was the flash auto that we couldn't get the second auto of, and the other one was the one where we full comboed him with the ulti, but he didn't die and lived on 1 HP, which was, yeah. So Talon should have had maybe 3 more deaths than what he actually has. Now, if we didn't fumble 3 kills onto him, he seems to have insane luck when it comes to surviving our damage somehow. Whether it's us screwing up or him just being lucky. But yeah, so here, with bot lane pushed out, we can rotate over to mid. Kalista is now trying to fight a Renekton, but Renekton is now in the 1v3. He is getting run down, but my whole team is coming for backup, right? So they're probably going to find themselves in trouble here. My whole team is here. Huge Leona stun onto 3 people. Braum is tanking for no one. He's going to go down to the bomb. I go unstoppable. My shield bow pops. I'm just jumping in, using the lifesteal from the shield bow, blasting the Darius. Darius goes down. However, Annie comes in with the next rotation of spells, takes me out, and finally, my shutdown ends up going over to the Annie, who did rush Malignant's first item for the ulti. And yeah, so unfortunately, we do end up dying there. Maybe a little bit overly aggressive there. But, you know, sometimes when you're playing Tristana and you're fed, you're just going to feel yourself. You're just going to be jumping in like a madman. And that's exactly what's going on here. So here the next dragon is up and available. I don't want to waste my jump, right? So I'm just walking around manually. Now I'm going to focus the jungler, of course. This time Talon's not going to survive. He finally goes down. Darius not going to survive either. And a huge wave has accumulated in bot, right? So Renekton, really nice, actually backs off from the wave and allows us to farm the wave. Now a lot of people, including myself, would have come to contest the wave with my own teammate because I want the goal for myself. But he actually just lets me have the wave, which I really appreciate. Shout out to the Renekton. And here we're going to roam into the enemy's jungle to try to deny them jungle camps. Here we see the Gromp. We're going to get rid of the Gromp whilst clearing the minion wave. Like just one more auto will do it. There we go. Pushing in this wave. And no one is stopping us. So we're just going to go for this tier 2. Annie's now coming. But I don't think... Alright, there we go. Stun comes in from Annie. We take a bunch of damage. But she doesn't really do enough damage to kind of one-shot me just yet. Now the whole enemy team is not running me down. Nice ult by Leona. That would have saved me if I didn't ult the Darius away, but I just ulted him away just to be safe. So end up we waste 2 ults here, but once again, shout out to the solo queue Leona, right? She would have saved my life there if I didn't save my own life first, right? So yeah, really great, really great teammate there. And here, just gonna clear out the minion wave. And take the red buff here. Now my team is still only about 5k gold ahead, right? Despite the fact that we are so ahead. It's mainly because there's a huge difference in some other lanes. For example, we have Talon like about 1k gold ahead of Mundo, and same goes for Annie over Morgana. Of course, we are like 2 to 3k gold ahead of the Kalista, and same situation with Leona over Braum. Speaking of Braum, here he is. He's gonna go down. I don't think that ult was necessary. He didn't really have anywhere to run, but we end up taking him out eventually anyway. And here, in the end, it's 2 down on both teams, right? But here, pings for Baron are coming out. I think this is a little bit risky. A little bit risky. So we're not really gonna do it. Leona is trapping in the bush, maybe looking for Talon. I'm somewhat nearby in jump range. But Talon doesn't actually walk past the choke point. I think he's probably gone back into his red side jungle to farm. And we're making sure we remain in the Baron area. We can see Talon and Annie in the mid lane. Now Morgana here very intelligently shows up mid lane to try to distract the enemy team from the Baron. But the enemy team realized Baron is being done. Leona now using all her CC on the Talon, preventing him from getting into the pit. Talon actually just straight up dies. We secure the Baron Nash right now, hopping over onto the Kalista, who I saw just try to walk straight past me. I can't believe she tried to do that. Okay, we get the kill on her. Now we're jumping in. However, Darius now has full stacks. It's a little bit of a problem. Here, SHIELDBOW saves my life there, by the way. SHIELDBOW saves my life for the second time. Darius ult could not eat through the SHIELDBOW, and we survive on 1 HP because of the SHIELDBOW. And as a result of that, now we can actually go for a game-ending push. Baron minion should be coming in momentarily. Only Annie and Braum are left alive. Correction, only Annie is left alive, and they do have the Nexus shield up, but we do have Baron waves on 2 lanes, and we probably can try to end, but we play conservatively and we're not going to try to overextend. I'm gonna back. I get my 100% crit with the Maul Reminder. I also get a stasis just for good measure. The last dragon's coming up, but it really doesn't matter. Like, at this point, like, who really cares about dragons? In the meantime, top lane tower is getting taken down by our minions, or the Winions, as some call them. And here I'm just farming the jungle while waiting for the dragon to spawn. Obviously, we cannot really overextend and push down the lanes. Here, we're over the wall just to check for any enemies coming. Honestly, if the enemy team knows what's good for them, they shouldn't be walking close. Kalista obviously doesn't know, and she just gets one shot to no one's surprise here. Kalista has not been playing well the entire game. And we're basically going to one-shot the dragon, like less than 5-second dragon take. Now we can all just run down mid and attempt to end the game. Kalista's down, and there's only 4 members of the enemy team left alive. I do think that with the team we have right now, I do think we can just run them down and end the game. Right, so here just pushing in all the minion waves. Luna ult hits nothing, unfortunately. But Annie gets stunned, gets one shot. That's probably the enemy team's last chance. Now here we're just playing for kills at this point. Game's pretty much secure already. And there we go. So I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.